So I really love Dolores Cannon's perspective about why we're here and about reincarnation and about our free will. According to Dolores Cannon, we have been reincarnating on this planet since the beginning of this planet. We have reincarnated as lava, we have experienced being a bird, we have experienced being like water, we have experienced being like different elements, different animals, and like there's a hierarchy to it. So it's like you start out from being like an atom, or you start out from being like a particle or sand or something, and then you graduate to being like water or fire, and then you graduate to being like an animal, you're like a fish, then a bird, a dog, and all that, and then you graduate to being like a human. When you're experiencing these different things, you experience them in all their capacity. And the idea of this experience is that source, or what people call God, is experiencing itself through us. It goes through the experience of being all these different elements. When you finally reincarnate as experiencing being human, you experience being different types of human beings in your own unique way. Maybe in your former life you were like a leper, or you were like a poor person, or a rich person, or like a feudal lord, a mean person. You just have all those experiences. So maybe before your level was low, like you experienced being like this mindless person, like who didn't have any form of self-awareness. In your next life, maybe you have like 1% self-awareness. It's just like moving up and up on the consciousness scale until you get to enlightenment and you're like done with this human experience. Also interesting that under this perspective, we chose our parents. We chose who we wanted to reincarnate under. We chose how we wanted to come here. Like the parents we wanted to raise us.
Is this heaven? No, it's the great before. This is where new souls get their personalities, quirks, and interests before they go to Earth.
Meet 22.
I don't want to go to Earth.
Stop fighting this.
I don't want to.
A lot of times people have trauma from their parents, but if you look at it from this perspective, it is very helpful in healing and not just like putting all the blame on your parents. Because according to this perspective, you chose to reincarnate under the parents you have because there's some way they were supposed to traumatize you to help your growth. So understand that if we're reincarnating to have different experiences and to learn, some of those experiences are not going to be pleasant. Some of the ways you reincarnate are going to be like hard life, suffer life. You get to choose the parents that would give you the type of life that would help you grow, or the type of life that will give you the experience that you're supposed to experience for elevation. So some people choose parents who they know these parents are comfortable, they're not going to fuck my life up, they're not going to like traumatize me, they're going to have wealth, so it means I'm going to live soft life. And some people choose to reincarnate under parents that they know are going to traumatize them, that are going to give them the exact amount of trauma they need to elevate to the next like level of their reincarnation, or to the next level of life, or to elevate them. So this perspective of choosing your own parents before you came into this lifetime helps heal like childhood trauma, because then you're taking responsibility and you're like, you know what, I chose these motherfuckers, and however they fucked me up, I wanted to experience this. So instead of looking at the trauma, you're looking at the lesson. What did I come here to learn that I chose these people? How am I supposed to grow from this experience? If you follow the perspective of choosing your parents, you will see that there's a lesson you needed to learn. There's a level of growth you needed that experience was supposed to trigger out of you. So imagine like you chose parents who were like mean motherfuckers, like they beat the shit out of you all the time. They talk nasty to you and just fucked with your confidence. You're supposed to conquer that limitation of you're not worthy. You're supposed to conquer it and grow past it and become this person who is like worthy, who is like confident. So you're supposed to heal that trauma to help you elevate. That's how Source or God is experiencing you. Yeah, it might sound like daunting, like, oh, why would I choose to experience this thing? But like thinking about it from a human perspective, you cannot understand how you would want to like just come here and suffer. Like, how do you tell me I signed up to suffer or to go through trials and tribulations?
Earth is a school, but it's a school, you come here to learn lessons, but it's a school where you can't skip a grade, but you can have to repeat a grade. You don't get it right, you have to come back and do it again until you get it right. You can't go from kindergarten to college, it's impossible. You have to learn the lessons, and the lessons are not easy.
This place is like a school, like the earth, our reality is like a school, and we've come here to like learn different things. If you're in a school, you have like different tests. If you fail the test, you come back and write the test again. So if you're experiencing being a certain thing and you don't elevate, you reincarnate and you come back and repeat that version that you failed, and you keep repeating it until you pass and you move on, and you keep elevating to the next class, to the next class, to the next class until you graduate. But let's not talk about what graduation looks like for now. It's throughout all your reincarnations, you're gathering experience. It's like the North and South node in astrology. The South node is like what you've mastered over lifetimes, and the North node is what you're supposed to master in this lifetime. If we're looking at it from that perspective, you've gathered all this experience from reincarnating as different people in different bodies, and in this lifetime you're supposed to gather another experience. But some people get too comfortable in being who they think they are because of the experiences they've had over lifetime. So instead of like learning a new way to be, they just stay in their comfort zone and they don't elevate. It means that they will keep coming back to repeat that class, that thing that they were supposed to learn, until like they get it, then they elevate and then they move on to the next experience. It's really cool though. I love Dolores Cannon's like perspective of how we came to be. Awesome.